cars mashing. In the low rider like 4 desperados. In the cover wagon, Wild Wild West fashion.
What's going on, people? Back on the road again, as y'all can tell. Fresh off my 6 days at home. Well rested and rejuvenated. As always, enjoying my time at home. Well, back on the road, like I said. Not making any money sitting at home, unfortunately. Not yet. That's the direction we're heading. That's what we're trying to accomplish. Get to the point where I can sit at home and make all types of money. Or as Chase and Andrew says, all kinds of money. But we ain't there yet, so I got to get my ass back on the road. I think I put on my Facebook yesterday or last night that can't be a dream chaser standing still. So there you go. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this profession, man. We not making any money sitting still. So can't chase a dream if you ain't running. So I'm out here and I'm running. But wanted to make this video today to talk about my experiences with Prime thus far. I've been in for 6 months. I've been a lease operator for 5 months, and just kind of want to talk about the good and the bad as far as I'm concerned, as far as my opinion goes. And it's not a lot of bad. Actually, it's very little bad. And really the only thing that I'm not happy with is what I already knew coming into it. So I can't really complain about it because I understood that was going to be a part of the game when I signed up. You know what I'm saying? When I submitted the application, when I showed up for orientation, all that, I already knew what it was. But that being, you know, the cost of operation for the truck is just really fucking high. My cost of operation every week is $1,400 before fuel, just for the truck. Truck note is $1,000. All the other odds and end things, the permits, insurance, tags, all that comes up to be about $1,400 every week. And like I said, I understood that coming into it, but when you start looking at the money, it becomes very irritating. So I was I'm at a TA right now. I'm in Johnston, New York. Had a drop and hook up here at a Walmart. Drove down here after I made that delivery at about 2 in the morning. Been here ever since. But I was inside eating breakfast at the Country Pride and looking over one of my most recent settlements. Looked at my lease to date totals as far as earnings and revenue. Looked at the lease to date total as far as operating expenses, and then obviously the net profit. So to date, the truck has made $70,000 some odd $100. Really good. That sounds really good too. That's a lot of money to make in 5 months. Scroll down to the operating expenses lease to date. $45,000. Damn. Which leaves $25,500. That's what I've actually taken home as, you know, the operator, as the owner of the company or whatever. That's what I've taken home. $25,500 in 5 months, which breaks down the average $5,100 a month. Now, that's cool. And it's not cool. It's cool because, if y'all remember, what I was making driving locally was about, on average, between $2,100 and $2,500 a month. That's what I was averaging. So, at the very least, I've doubled my income as far as what I was making prior to coming over the road and doing a lease with Prime. And I also went ahead and added in my taxes that I paid thus far. So my I started this lease in the fourth quarter of 2016, and I paid $675 in taxes. And my first quarterly taxes are due this Tuesday, April 18th for 2017, and that has come up to be $4,000 and some change. It's $3,500 for federal and $500 for state. So that's a total of we just say $4,700. And you take $4,700 from $25,500, and that's gonna leave you with a little over $2,100. So in 5 months, what I've actually made and taken home was $21,000. So $21,000 divided by 5 months is gonna give you basically a little over $4,000 a month, which basically means about $1,000 a week. But you got to factor in the fact that just like previously, I took 6 days off, and I took another in February. I took 5 days off, so that's about all in all. That's about 2 weeks of no revenue being on home time. So all in all, realistically, what I'm really averaging taking home a month or a week is about $1,500 a week. So that's good. I'm satisfied with that. But when you look at the grander scheme, and once again, no issues with Prime. It's just that, like I said, I knew this coming into it, but as I'm going through it and seeing how much money there is to be made and to be kept, shall I say, because the money is being made, it's about what I'm keeping. And the money that can be kept is letting me know I need to accelerate this process to get up out of here, to get up out of this lease situation with Prime, because I am spending too much money on the truck. So $70,000, but $45,000 spent in operating expenses is ridiculous, because really the majority of that is the truck. Fuel is going to be fuel. It don't matter what you hear. You're leasing here, you're leasing there. You got your own truck, you own your own truck. You're paying a note on the truck. The fuel's going to be the fuel. That's nothing you can ever complain about. But $1,400 a week on the truck itself, and just to make the math simple, $1,500 a week times 4 weeks is going to give you $6,000 for the month. So roughly $6,000, a little less than $6,000 a month is what you're paying for what I'm paying and what you would be paying if you were in the same truck I am, or if you get a newer one, it's just going to be more. But $5,600, $6,000 a month is what you're paying for the truck. Whereas when you got your money together and you got your credit together, personal and business, you can get your own truck, either outright buy a truck, which would be the best thing you can do because there'll be no truck note. But if you unless you just got six figures, 120,000 plus laying around, you're not buying no brand new truck. That means you're going to be able to buy a truck that's going to be underneath $50,000, which means there's probably more than likely going to be some maintenance that's going to come up, if not immediately, not too long down the road, that you want to deal with. So if I go and buy a truck off a lot, put $20,000 down, and then that truck note is going to run me, we'll just go high and say $2,000 a month. I know I've spoken to some guys who have, fairly new trucks, and they're paying $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, whatever. Even if it's $2,500 a month, at that point I've cut my expenses in half at the very minimum. And lease on with a carrier with a load board, which is the next step in my journey. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to be saving money. And then if I just get if I get an older truck, not old as dirt, but like it's 2017, if I go to a dealership and get a truck that's a 2014, a 2015, odds are the note is not going to be much higher than, it's going to be between $1,500 and $2,000 a month. So that's really good, because at that point, then at the most I'm spending is $3,000 a month for the truck, as opposed to $6,000. So that's $3,000 in my pocket right there. I know I spoke about finishing this lease when I first started, but as time has gone on, as I've gained more experience and more knowledge being out here, I'm really not trying to do that. I'm trying to get up out of this as soon as possible. Nothing against Prime. Reiterate one more time, I have no complaints at Prime, man. Me and my fleet manager on the same page. I'm making good money, as I just told y'all. I really don't have any complaints with Prime itself, but the one complaint I have is one of those things where you can't hate the player, you gotta hate the game, because what they've done is they put me and anybody else in a pretty much a brand new truck, no money down, no credit check. Yes, they're hitting your head, they banging your head for that $1,000 a month, a week. But what I do is I look at, what am I getting? What am I benefiting from this? Because what they're benefiting is you're paying for a truck. That lease payment is paying for this truck. And at the end of this lease, that truck is paid off and Prime gets the title for it. Then Prime turns around and offers you the truck if you want to buy it on the H2 lease for like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. If you don't want to buy it, they're just going to sell it to somebody else for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. So it's a win for them. They getting a truck they're not paying for, then they're selling it for a profit. Don't hate the player, hate the game. But what I'm getting out of the deal is I'm getting the first-hand and hands-on experience of what it's going to be like when I take the next step and get my own truck. I'm learning how to operate a truck, how to run a truck as far as fuel goes, how to maintain my money, how to manage my money properly, how to be successful. You know, all the things that it takes to be a successful driver and owner operator when that time comes. Those are things that I'm learning right now, hands on with Prime. And I like to liken it to doing this with training wheels on, because I mean, you're an independent contractor with Prime when you lease. You have to get your own LLC, you have to get your own EIN, you have to have a business checking account, because they won't pay you into a personal account, because you are a business that they are contracting to work with them. So you're a lease operator. I liken it to an owner operator on training wheels. You don't own the truck, but I mean, hell, it's not the same. I'm not gonna say it is. I would never say it is. But what I'm saying is the lessons I'm learning while doing this are going to carry over when I get to the next part, which would be owner operator. And the things I'm able to learn, the lessons I'm able to learn, and things I'm able to pick up on and teach myself is invaluable, in my opinion. So yeah, Prime is winning financially, but I've doubled my income, and the things that I'm learning I really can't put a value on it, because it's going to benefit me greatly down the line when I get to the point where I'm on my own. All the things I've learned through trial and error, the good and the bad here at Prime, is just going to propel me when I take the next step and I get my own truck and I lease onto a carrier with a load board. So that's how I look at it. Everybody talks negatively about leases. I understand why, but I don't think anybody really addresses the non-financial side, the things that you're learning while you're out here doing it. So that's pretty much the only thing I have to complain about. But like I said, I can't really complain about it because I understood that before I submitted the contract or submitted the application, before I showed up for orientation, before I jumped on my trainer's truck, and before I signed the lease for this truck. I understood that, so that I really can't complain about that. But I just want to relay that to y'all that that's the one thing that I don't like. That's a lot of money, man. I've made a lot of money, but I've had to spend a lot of money in order to operate. And you don't have to spend that much money to operate when you are in a position to get a truck on your own and to do things on your own. When you're not in a position where you need somebody to help you, Prime is helping you by giving you this truck. You know, they helped me by giving me this truck, brand new. Like I say, no money down, no credit check. People looking at that like, oh man, that's great. Yeah, that's great, but you know, nothing in this world is free. The game is sold, not told. So in order for, they're giving you all this, they're getting something on the back end, and what they get on the back end is money, and hella money. So you making them a lot of money by running the truck, delivering their freight, and at the end of the day, you complete that lease, you're making them no less than $60,000, $70,000 when they turn around and sell this truck to somebody else, if not you. So, to conclude, Prime is a good company. I recommend Prime to anybody. I recommend leasing with Prime to anybody who doesn't have the means to just go and get their own truck, which majority of us don't. And I think you should just understand the value of what you're learning out here. I think that needs to be put into perspective. The value of what you're learning when you enter this lease operator agreement with Prime, or any other company. But like I told y'all before, I did my research, and Prime was the best one to go with, hands down. If you want to do a lease, if you want to do a lease purchase or a lease period, I don't really think there are too many other companies that compare to to Prime, as far as the flexibility, as far as the money that you can make, and as far as them pretty much just bluntly put fucking you over and just fucking you in the ass all types of ways. Because a lot of these companies, man, Prime is making money off you, no doubt about it, but at the same time, they're not trying to completely fuck you. Some of these companies, they're that's the game plan. Let's fucking rape this driver for as much as we can, and if they leave, oh well, we're gonna get all we can get out of them. Prime getting you, but they still leaving some room for you to grow on your own. So to conclude, man, no issues with Prime. Love it here. Wouldn't have really nothing to complain about outside of what I just spoke on. And you know, you know that before you get here if you do your research. So with that said, I'm gonna close this video out, man. It's ran a lot longer than I was planning on it running, but I had a lot to talk about with this video. Hopefully this helps some of y'all if y'all were looking into leasing, or were kind of just wondering what it really encompasses. Once again, that's just my opinion on things. As with anything on my channel, it's my experiences, my opinions, you know, my growth and along my journey. So I'm not always right about what I talk about, but like I said, it's just what I go through in my opinion and my experiences. So this is an opinion thing. You can't be right or wrong, but the numbers speak. So you can look at the numbers before you get here. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out, climb back here and chill out for about an hour before I finally head out to go pick up this load. Got a freaking beer load picking up in New York and running over to Illinois. Freaking hate beer loads. Beer loads are always heavy. Don't really pay that well. You know, this is empty, 120 miles empty, 880 miles loaded. It's over 1,000 miles and it's paying $884. But as I've stated many times, that's what it is in the East and Northeast. Getting about the Northeast is never going to pay well. Rarely going to pay well. Even the Northeast pay well is not good almost anywhere else. But I got to get out of here, and I'm going to Illinois. So once I deliver this stupid ass beer load, my next load should be worthwhile. More than likely it'll be worthwhile. So anyways, y'all know it's your man JMV. Until next time, y'all be easy, and
ship, rap money, buying homes, open the stores, add to it, multiply, hustle more. What else you think you living for?